exhaust. Today, part 2, Mk8 transit. Nardered itself. If you haven't seen the first video, watch it first, then watch this. So as we know, 80,000 miles, dead on, one owner, fully serviced, gone. And done what 2.2 transits do, we reckon. Burns the old through its piston. We've got another one over there. That's done 68,000 miles. That's burnt hole through a piston. So we're reckoning this one's probably done exactly the same. So, cunning plan. I'm going to leave gearbox on, slightly wobbly weird wheelie trolley, engine and gearbox together, and strip all of the auxiliaries off. For anyone who doesn't know what an auxiliary is, alternator, all the bits that you don't. So, turbocharger, inlet manifold, injectors out, lined up, rail off, engine wiring harness off. So then fan bits on front so we can get into the timing cover at the front here. We need to take timing chain off. Then we need to get in here. We'll have to remove cams, bits and bobs, stuff and everything. Get the head off to find what's gone wrong in the pistony bit in the middle. Right, so you would have seen, they have just whipped the turbocharger off. Now, cylinder 1, not bad. Cylinder 2, lots of oil. Cylinder 3, lots of oil and sort of like some greasy disgustingness. And cylinder 4 is about the same. So this is not looking good, is it? So next plan, we'll leave this. I was trying to get this annoying turbo return pipe out, but they break for a pastime, so I might leave that alone for a minute. I'm going to whip round the other side of the engine and then remove all of that plastic cack down there, and then on we go. Right, so you'll see we've got rid of engine wiring harness, the coolant pipes that were in the way, the turbo boost pipe that comes into this manifold. So what I'm going to do now is just remove the last of this sort of stuff out of the way, give me a bit of a clearer shot at it. The turbocharger is off. I'd whip the engine mount off on the other side. You won't have seen that because the engine harness runs behind it. Marvellous Ford. And then I'm going to go injectors, this sort of fan pulley arrangement on the front, crankshaft pulley, front cover, and then I think after that we will be getting somewhere near the internals to have a look inside the thing. Right, onward. So this is your inlet manifold. Look at all the cack in there. That's pretty nasty, isn't it? This is the EGR cooler and the EGR off of it. There you go. Now, all of this is caused by exhaust gas recirculation valves. So some bright spark decided that engines, they'd run cleaner. You're right. If you recycled a percentage of the burnt exhaust gases back through the inlet manifold. Yeah. Right, so your engine's supposed to run better like that, is it? What we need is some sense in this world. I cannot see how an engine running on half a load of burnt nasty cack that would have normally gone out an exhaust pipe back round again to make your emissions figures better is going to, in the long term, make it run better. This thing will run better on fuel, be cleaner, burn cleaner, without all that junk. Anyway, so we are to the point now. Front timing cover is hanging off. Water pump's gone. Fan thingy's gone. Top housing, he didn't want to come out. All the wiring harnesses. Got the fuel pump disconnected. I've just got to put a little thingy over there, but we've got those blanked off so no gack gets in them. And then, so next, injectors, injector rail, rocker cover, probably that vacuum pump off the back, and then we'll be ready to whip the top off once we've knocked the timing chain off of it. Right, as you will have seen, timing chain cover is off. Dose of bolts. It's stuck on with silicon sealant. Gets in everything. Grand idea. Could have made a gasket for that, could you? They're a beggar to get off. You can whack around the outside of them with a palette knife, trying to cut them, free them off, and then try not to bow it as you get out. But to be totally honest, you can buy a new one with a seal in it, and you probably put it back with a new seal on anyway. So you can mum that all crap getting it off. You saw me. The injectors you can quite handily lift out as a 4. It's quite nice to keep them in there. Obviously they're coded, but they'll all go off and get done anyway, so we'll have to recode them. But so they're tucked over there with the fuel rail and the pipes attached to them. So what we've got to do now, we'll whip these sprockets, these 2 chain guides or 3 chain guides off, this big tensioner arm and the actual lockable ratchet tensioner and the chain and thing. Take that clean out of the way. I'm not going to bother timing any of this because obviously the head's going to come off and come apart, and there's a fair likelihood we're going to have to wave the crank all around. So there's no point doing any description of engine timing now because we'll have to time it all again once we put it back together. So I'm going to whip this off, and then I'm going to lift. There's a set of bolts to the center here that release the rockers. We'll pull the rockers, and then we can get to the head bolts, and we'll lift the head off and see what died in here. Right, so what you would have seen a minute ago, cam box off over there, or cams out, rocker carrier out, top of cylinder off, top of cylinder head off, sorry. I've whipped the outer head bolts out. I am now on, I've loosened all these obviously in sequence, as you would have seen a minute ago. So these are all stretch. Ugh. So basically, I quickly pull all of these. God, this thing's just a manky, horrible, oily mess, isn't it? So these bolts are all stretched, so basically they are junk once they're done. So we're going to chuck them down there because they'll need to be replaced if this thing is salvageable. And we will see, bit of wiggling, what's going on in here then. Ooh, we are off. Ooh. Something's gone wrong, isn't it? Right, let's go and put this over here quickly. Do appear to have quite a lot of melty piston nastiness, but nothing looking really bad. Right, I'll bring you in here for a closer look, because I'm not quite sure what's wrong with that. Right, even finally got the first one that hasn't exploded properly. Christmas. Right. Right, so a bit of a surprise. We appear to have 4 pistons. We have got some rather strange sort of swirling and disgustingness on the top of them. So, where did I there's me ratchet? Just pop the front crank pulley back on. But unbelievably, we haven't got any meltedness. Well, not proper meltedness. That one's pretty gacky. I've rubbed the top of these 2 off. Let's go. So, I reckon there's a possibility. It does look like there's some sort of shading on this back cylinder here. Across to this. We may possibly have had a failed gasket. Well, we've got a lot of cack and nastiness in here. So, what we're going to do is we'll put all pistons at half height, and then we're going to fill it up with some light oil or some diesel overnight, leave it sat there and see how much and see what's left in the morning as to whether the rings are any good. But I mean, I can't. The balls are actually good. So it's a possibility that it actually may have got a gone head gasket. That's never happened before. Right, onward. Well, we didn't need to wait till morning, so I've just filled all 3 of these pistons up with diesel, and I reckon you might be able to spot the one that's rubbish. It went straight in the sump. So I reckon somewhere in... Oh, I can see it. Can you see it? There it is. There's a hole in number 3 piston. Well, that's nice. That's nice and easily repairable. So I reckon if that had run much longer, that would have melted and blown bits of leaf. So basically, as expected, number 3 piston had pooped itself. Let's raise it up a bit. Where's me ratchet gone? Oh, this is going to make a really horrible mess now, isn't it? Anyway, that doesn't matter. We'll deal with that later. So number 3 piston has diesel all over the floor. Oh, I reckon number 3 piston's got a big hole in it. Let me clean it up a minute and we'll be back. There we go. Cause of failure. Big hole. Burnt in number 3 piston. So I reckon what we're going to need to do now, we're going to have to inspect all the rest of these pistons and make sure they're any good. Order some, well actually I don't need to order some pistons. It might be cheaper to order pistons, trip-hole engine. Anyway, so that's repairable. So the injectors are going to need to go off and be done. And it's going to need a piston, and we might as well re-ring the whole thing whilst we're, even though it only has done 80,000, we'll consider that because we could swap the rings over if they survived. So I think new piston, gaskets, cleany, manifolds, cleany, everything. New front thing, timing chain should be fine. That is the first Mk8 diesel engine that I've ever had that's actually easily salvageable. So, as I would have shown you last time, we have now stripped said transit engine. Has big hole in piston, and then it burned through to the outside, actually split the oil ring in 2 pieces there, as you can see. But, luckily enough, with a honing bore, it's good. So, new piston, rings, stuff, rebuild these. So, I'm going to leave this here. This is the Wednesday fixie video. So, next time, series transit, replacement piston, crank's perfect, clean all the faces, big gasket set, back together. Right, thank you very much, Al, 6D Diesels.